Imelda Lopez. FBISD will utilize the internet and social recruiting tools such as Indeed.com, Monster.com, LinkedIn, and Twitter to post their open positions. Candidates can still apply online at the FBISD Career Portal website. During the selection process, the candidate will be asked to submit an application, which is step 1. They'll move on to step 2, which is the online assessment. If they pass the assessment, they'll be added to a pool of eligible candidates. In step 3, a recruiter will contact those candidates they're interested in. They'll conduct an informal phone interview. If they're interested, they'll move them on to the hiring manager, and an interview is set up. In step 4, the interview is conducted by the hiring manager. And during this interview, the hiring manager may ask questions of the candidate, such as their previous employment history and some hypothetical situational scenarios. If the hiring manager decides to move on and hires the candidate will move on to onboarding. The 4 C's of onboarding are compliance, clarification, culture, and connection. During compliance, this is where the applicant will complete all their paperwork, they'll set up their direct deposits, any administrative tasks. During clarification, the new hire will be helped to understand the goals of their job, what it means now, their expectations and their responsibilities. During culture, the new hires are taught about the norms and the rules of the organization of FBISD. During connection, this is where we make the new hires feel like they're a part of the family. They're placed into teams and groups to make them create those connections with the district and with their coworkers.
Hi, my name is Louise, and I am going to be talking about performance management and compensation. So when we think of performance management, it's important to be able to lay out the parameters of a position. That way, the employee have their best chance of being successful, knowing what their expectations are and knowing what competencies they will need. So we have dimensions set up for the position of the human resource specialist. 1, they include quality of work, verbal, nonverbal communication, the timeliness of work, and then also their ability to resolve issues. So that's what we're looking at. And because this position involves working directly with people, administrators or students or other employees of the school district, it's important for them to have very good people skills and also to be able to resolve issues. So then we have our measurements. Where do they fall? Where do they exceed expectations, meet expectations, or does not meet expectations? So for somebody who exceeds, great, let's develop them. They could be possible, a great choice for a promotion in the future. For somebody who just meets the expectations, then we possibly can look at growing them and giving them what they need to develop them to be better at their position. For somebody who does not meet the expectations, then we have to determine whether or not they're a right fit for the job, and if training them would actually help a little bit more, or if just trying to find somebody else to fulfill the position, if that would be a better option for us. So then we get to compensation. So the process of compensation management starts with great HR policy and strategy. But then we also look at the compensation policy. It's so important for the compensation to be fair and equal to somebody of the same position or a similar position in the school district. So you want it to be, you really don't want to have it to where one group is getting paid more than others. So you do want to tie compensation into maybe the contingent factors. Will they get more for having a degree or a master's? Will they get more depending on how much tenure they have at their previous company? So all of that ties in together. And that's why the job analysis and evaluation is so important, because you're beginning to see exactly what that position needs and the special skills that the employees must have to be able to fulfill that role. Then you look at the design and implementation of the compensation plan. and then evaluation and review. It's also important to realize that compensation is not just monetary. You also have it to where benefits are included. So how many days off will it be for the employee? Also, health insurance. Will we offer health insurance? Will we offer paid time off? All of that stuff will come together and determine the compensation package. And we want it to be a good package because we do not want to run the person away to other school districts if they're a quality candidate. And then so we have the pay schedule for specialist positions in Fort Bend ISD. So while I was looking, these were the positions that were very similar to the one that we have, the specialist for the human resources. Depending on how many days they work a year, you have the salary schedule over in the right-hand corner over here. And then it looks somewhere about a $47,943 position. Of course, we can put a little bit more on there just depending on the candidate, but it should be negotiable, and we shouldn't start them off at the salary cap either. You never want to do that because then it's impossible for an employee to grow and feel good about their yearly performance appraisal and getting raises and different things like that. We don't want to take that away from the employee. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brianna Redondo, and I'm going to be discussing career management. So from that brings about the idea of career mapping that has 3 steps, which include self-assessment, individualized career map, and exploring other options. From this, the benefits include employee engagement, the alignment of the company's mission, career development, and overall employee satisfaction and motivation. So as an in-depth analysis of career mapping, we have the first step, self-assessment, that identifies the employee's overall knowledge, skills, and assets and experiences that aided accomplishments and passions. Step 2 is an individualized career map that helps create an outline of the company's career positioning up the ladder to match the employee's interests with the fit and desired role. The employee then sets that position as a goal to be met in the company, or ultimately decides the overall outcome is something not of interest and should move on to better things. From that brings about step 3 with exploring other options. This continues from step 2, the idea of moving toward other opportunities outside of the company or further striving toward higher job opportunities within the organization. So with retention and turnover, the best retention practices include recruitment, selection, socialization, training and development, compensation, rewards and supervision, and employee engagement. So the main reason of turnover is employee satisfaction, and what Fort Bend ISD does as solutions for this employee turnover. And they in turn provide helpful benefit guides that demonstrate compensation through provided pay and health care with added fitness classes that highlights their shared value of overall wellness. The social event, they have a social events calendar that demonstrates their social aspect that strives toward bringing employees together of all ranks to deepen relations. Their turnover rate has been scaled at 14.06% together during 2017 and 2018, which is fairly low, so it can still be improved. Their audit in 2016 described the HR division as dominant people strategy philosophy, and by pursuing their certain collaborations to attract and retain employees between HR and community relations divisions. They restored the benefit of an employee assistance program at no cost to aid amendments toward positive work trends. So you can see how Fort Bend ISD has followed along these best retention practices to help overall employee satisfaction. So that concludes my PowerPoint, and thank you so much for your time.